Hello and welcome back to the ADHD Girls podcast with me, Claire.
And me, Laura.
Oh, how are you, Laura?
Well, that's what we're going to get into today.
Just to set the scene, we're in a park and it's day 562 without any rain, or so it feels.
Oh, yeah. Everything's dried up, dead, and very thirsty.
Which is pretty much how my brain feels.
I'm trying to yes,
trying to drink some electrolytes, try and give myself a little bit of energy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's draining.
It is, and I think the constant heat, the constant dryness is not something we're used to in this country.
No. And apparently it's about 8 degrees cooler today than it was on Thursday, but
it doesn't feel it.
I don't feel that.
It feels very close and sticky.
Yeah.
And very, I feel
irritable.
like it's wrapped around me and I can't get it off.
Like a soup.
Yes, I don't know for that. So today's session, I'm going to talk about how I feel mentally drained. Because I feel we can feel drained. There's many different types of drain. Because I think there's a physical drain, there's that mental drain, and I think there's like a spiritual or soul drain. And I feel because of the heat, I'm physically drained because you just can't escape it. Like you might temporarily escape it, but late at night in bed, it's just like I can't sleep. So the lack of sleep is contributing towards the other drains of it all. And then physically drained, because I think, you are active, you are sweating more. And the good thing that you mentioned to me a while ago was electrolytes. So I have got my electrolytes because I find in the heat, I was drinking lots and lots of water. I was very conscious of, I need to rehydrate. I need to be, but I didn't realize the salts and the minerals that I was sweating. So I've now got a really nice electrolytes. They weren't that expensive either, because when I first looked, I'm like, how much? And then it was like, no, there are cheaper versions out there.
Drinking my berry flavoured.
Oh, nice. So I looked, and since I've had my drink with electrolytes, I find I am a little bit more replenished in some way. And then the spiritual or the other drain is, I've recently come back from a break, and the break was great. It's exactly what I needed. It was swimming, sunshine, relaxing, all inclusive, all that, which was great. But I find there was still a bit of a mental drain because of certain things that happened. And it's my thing of nothing happened to me, but I had to deal with a lot of stress with who I was with. They were going through stress.
So if you're new to our podcast, we are doing some sessions where one of us will talk more than the other, and now basically we'll have a session where, in this particular one, Laura, you're going to talk about something specific. And then I'll give you some listening skills, some counselling, some coaching, some ideas. So it's mainly going to be about you, and I'll let you talk, and then I'll pick up on a few things that you said.
That sounds
great. This is all about you today.
Yay! So I find letting things that happen around me, and I've had I've read various books, I've listened to various podcasts, I've watched various films and YouTubes and stuff, and it still affects me because I think I am human and I am who I am. And I don't think I'm a fixer. I'm not straight away like, oh God, I have to do something. But I find it was still very, very draining. And I've come away and I've not been able to be as rested and as, when you come back, you're like, oh, that's so good. I needed that. And I did have that. But I find there were still instances that really, really drained me. And I'm struggling to recharge and replenish from them. And it's been 2 weeks now. So I think a certain amount of time has passed where I think, oh, I should have replenished from that. And I haven't. And it's trying to find, I've been going for walks. I've been eating quite well. I've been focusing on my new book. But I just find, I don't know if I let too much in. Maybe that could be it I don't think, not exactly open myself up. I don't think that's the right word, but maybe I not let it affect me, but for some reason it drained me.
I'm just going to say something now. We spoke a bit earlier in the day, and you said to me, I don't know why I'm so drained. I've had a break. And I said to you, I started listing the things that's going on for you. And I said, don't be hard on yourself because you have got a lot going on. So I wonder if there's something around being ADHD and not realising
switching off, maybe
what's going on for us, not necessarily reading the signals.
Mm.
And it sounds like there's a little bit of recrimination going on, like I should feel better, I should feel rested. So I wonder
the
if
shoulds of life.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm expecting too much.
So I wonder if you want to have a look at what would be most helpful to you. Would you want to look at what in particular has been going on and get a great understanding of how you're at this point? How does that sound?
Could be, yes. I mean, I've got my friend and, I've known her a long time, but I find she'll come up with stories that I know not to be accurate. And I don't know why I find it draining. Because sometimes when you try and kind of say, well, that's not quite right, they'll then come up with they always talk themselves out of it. And it's quite common with this person where they'll come up with something where you kind of like, oh, I know this is nonsense. But you're at a stage where you think, there's not much I can do or say because I've tried it in the past and they've just not stopped, or they've not responded in like, oh yeah, I was just joking, or I don't know what this person's getting from it, but I find it's quite draining because I'm having to listen to a story that I know not to be accurate, and it's draining, and I don't know why.
Without putting ideas in your head or words in your mouth, is it to do with, I mean, I relate to this really deeply because I know if I feel I'm being spun a whole load of nonsense. Some people might be able to just think, oh, whatever, it's just them. But I'm like, no, why is this happening? What do they want from me?
It's inauthentic.
Yeah.
And I think it's that thing of when I'm talking to someone, I want that connection. I want that. And I think true connection can only come from the truth. So in my mind, if someone I know is lying, there's no connection there and it's a waste of time. And it's almost like, you think I'm an idiot, or I don't know why you're making up these stories about yourself when I know they're not true. And in the past, when I've kind of said, that they'll say something like, oh, I broke my leg, but I still ran a marathon. And I kind of said, I was there
9 a.m. in the morning, right?
Yeah, in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Other nonsense. And I, at that point, I did say, like, oh, come on, mate. And they were like, no, I did, because if I put my mind to it, I can do anything. And it almost made it worse when I tried to call them out, because then it made it almost, oh, no, how dare you doubt me? Where it's like, but you wouldn't run a marathon on a broken foot. Like, you can't. It's not realistic.
That would drive me really crazy. Someone telling me such a ridiculous story. And I think there's something around being authentic, something about reality. And also, I don't know if it's to do with, we've spoken before about ADHD brains work in a quantum way. So we have multiple scenarios all running at the same time. So talking to you, I wonder if it's like there's so many different scenarios that could be happening with this person. Somewhere there's the truth, but it sounds like there's a lot of possibilities. And just people like us who aren't able to just keep on one thing at a time, we're getting so distracted and drawn into different stories. Is it something around that? It's distracting.
I suppose it is.
Get dragged into this, like, could be this, could be that, could
be this. But it's also, I think, a thing of there's no point to this conversation, almost.
No connection.
So, for example, she was telling me about all these school trips. Now, I think she forgot we went to the same school. Because she was telling me how she went to the Himalayas and Russia and all these places with the school trip.
Involved, isn't it?
And I was looking at it going, we were at this, and I laughed because I said, we went to the same school, but we didn't have that. Oh, no, I had the school trip. So we were in a different year. And I'm like, yeah, but you were only, like, I still knew people in your year and I knew people in the year below you, and they didn't have these school trips. And I suppose the drain comes from, I'm not sure what this person is getting from these stories that they're saying, because I don't understand the reason for why you would make up you went on a school trip to the Himalayas and Russia, talking to someone who went to the same school as you.
Yeah.
But then when that person kind of goes, oh, well, I went to the same school, we didn't have the school trip. And instead of going like, oh, maybe it was another school or maybe it was something else, you go, no, it was definitely a school trip. You were in a different year to me. And I'm there thinking, yeah, but I know people in your year. I know people in the year below you. And when I spoke to them, because I did think maybe I missed this, maybe somehow in school I just didn't have access to this information. I don't know. And they confirmed to me that these school trips never happened. So I know it's confirmed that these school trips never happened, but this person is 100% insisting they went on these school trips. And to me, it's just almost like it's exhausting for me to kind of figure out what does this person want to achieve by having, because to me, whenever I have a conversation with someone, it's always either to catch up, see how they're doing, what they're getting on, and to exchange information, exchange connection, and come away going, oh, that was really nice to see that person and find out what they've been up to and have a laugh and have a good chat and a good natter and that kind of thing. And I feel when this person makes up these stories, there's none of that there.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like initially you were kind of doubting yourself, like, oh, I had to double check and find out, did these school trips really happen?
Yeah, because I find, well, maybe I have missed it. I never assume that I'm 100% right. Because I feel everyone's at fault. No one's perfect. So I always go by, I need to check myself over maybe I have missed something. Because in the past, I have sometimes missed information.
So does it worry you that you might be wrong and that you've missed a whole load of trips to the Himalayas?
It is, yeah.
Is it part of you thinking, where was I?
It did happen.
Did I drop out?
So
where was I during this time?
And, so I thought, I'll check the information because in the past, I am sometimes wrong. So I am human and I sometimes make mistakes. I'm like, maybe I have missed this information. And speaking to the two people that I know at the school, and I mentioned to them these trips, and they both looked at me like I'm crazy. Like, no, this didn't happen. These trips 100% did not happen.
So you got confirmation that you were right and that this other person was making up this fantastical story. How did you feel then?
It confirmed to me that I'm not crazy. It confirmed to me that, okay, what I remember is correct. But it then made me quite sad because then I'm there thinking, I'm not sure what to do with this information of if I confront the person, they'll just dig their heels in even more. And I don't know what I will achieve by it. But I almost kind of just want to say, just stop making up lies because there's no, whatever you think you're looking like, you're not. And it's kind of damaging the friendship because it's inauthentic. Like when you make up stuff, you're not, I don't know what you're achieving by it, but it just drains me of like, oh God, here we go, another story.
Yeah.
And then it almost makes me doubt whatever this person says because they lie so much that I then don't know when they're giving me information. Oh, are they telling me the truth now? Because how do I know?
Does it feel scary to think that someone's not telling you the truth, or do you feel, again, I don't want to be telling you, but if it was me, I would feel a bit untethered, a bit unsure, like
untethered, I think is a good word because
really,
you're kind of going, I don't know what's going on here.
No grip on kind of what's
reality.
Yeah. And you've mentioned a lot about connection, and I would find it really difficult to have that conversation and to think, well, what's actually happening here? Where is the connection?
Yeah, I think the question is what is happening here? Because it's like, I think this person's my friend and we get along really, really well. But then every now and again, they'll come up with this story of something and you're like, oh, I don't know what you want from someone to go, oh my God, that's amazing. Because I think everyone sometimes exaggerates a story a little bit or whatever, but not to the extent of making up.
I mean, I'm not surprised you're drained because this, like, considering this is going to be an hour and a half for you, this is your holiday, that does sound like it will take up a lot of mental energy.
Yes.
And processing.
It's the processing of, I don't know what to say. And, when I did kind of go, oh, well, try to gently say, we're at the same school. I mean, there was no such trip. But it's like, no, it did happen. I went on it. I don't know why you did. It's straight away, it's almost like defensive. I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to say because nothing's been achieved. I now feel a weird sense of, I know you're lying to me. You are trying to convince me of a lie, but I don't know what you're achieving. But it's draining. It is really draining.
What did you find connection in on a holiday?
It was just chatting. It was nice because everyone was having a nice time. It was just chilled. And it was just genuine where you would just walk and chat, which was nice. So this is where it's not all the time with this person.
But leaving aside that person, what else about being away gave you sustenance, gave you sort of...
It was nice to be in the
recharge?
water. I enjoy swimming because it was warm water, and it was just nice to feel that holiday feeling of, okay, we've got a couple of inflatables here, the sun is shining, and you haven't got that, oh, I've got to do this, so I've got to do that. You know, the normal chores coming in, invading your day.
Just talking about water, I find, as I was having a shower this morning, I was like, I don't want to have a shower, I don't want to have a shower, I don't want to have a shower, I need a shower, I don't want to have a shower, I've got to have a shower, I'll get in the shower.
Yeah.
It's okay, but now I've got to get out. And you talking about water in the ocean and the pool, it sounds a completely different experience to what we've discussed before about actually bathing.
Yes.
Having to have a wash, a shower, a bath, and the trauma of it. And it sounds like that was completely offset with this. You know, you're really happy in the water.
Yes, I absolutely loved it because
positive.
that was our thing of like, okay, you get in, you cool off, then you go on the sun lounger for a little bit, you get crispy, you get a drink. Oh, it's this time. Oh, we'll go to the all-inclusive buffet. And you've not got the responsibilities of daily life. You can just kind of saunter into various relaxing things of, I'll just go and pick, and they had lovely salads, which I know sounds really sad, but I love salads.
I always find salads in Europe or wherever you are, anyway, that's not UK. I find salads are really interesting. And you think salad, in this country, it's often like a bit of iceberg lettuce and bits of art. But yeah, one of the best salads I ever had was in France. It was a proper, it was a meal. It was a huge salad. There's so much on it. And yeah, I completely understand what you're saying about salads. Could be so interesting.
Well, this was like an African theme place, and it was there was a lot of mint involved, there was a lot of parsley, there was some barley, and they had one potato salad with tuna, and it was amazing.
You know what I like about salads is when everything's cut up really small and identical. I something about things cut up. Whenever I make a salad at home, I cut it up really small.
The autistic brain is like, this is joy, this is joy. They have
to be the same pieces.
Loads. And that to me was like, I can eat healthily.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah. And then it's just like something pops up over, I went to the moon last week. And you're like,
only the moon?
Not this,
is that all you managed?
So, yeah, I think that's the thing of like just trying to balance the good with the other side of it. But it's just a shame because I find it does just drain me. And
it sounds really understandable. I mean, I'm drained hearing about these ridiculous stories.
And I think it's just one of those things I have to kind of think, right, I've done other things. It might just maybe take time because I don't know if my brain is then almost waiting for the next story.
But the novelty factor of you saying you're eating different foods, different smells, different, the climate's different. Even it might be hot still, but it's different for feel, different sounds. That sounds appealing to the ADHD brain.
It's just
the novelty.
Yeah, and it's that proper holiday vibe. Where, you're like, okay, everything's taken care of. Because I find with ADHD, you're the one in charge. You're the one having to sort this, and then your brain's going into 100 different modules in each sort. And so on holiday, it's just like, I'm just going to get in the pool. That's my only choice.
Yeah,
I'm going to just swim around. Yes, so you're not having that overthinking or that normal
infinite
thinking.
branching out.
Yeah, all the different.
If I do this, that can happen, that can happen. If this happens and that happens, or that happens, all these
scenarios going around your head. It is just switch off. So maybe that's why my brain was like, I'm so relaxed. And then maybe it was annoyed at the intrusiveness of, God, I have to deal with nonsense now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that overloaded it of like, I was so relaxed. Why did this have to happen? And my brain's just now like, okay, maybe I am just a bit, not on edge, but just waiting for the next story.
I think you've had a lot going on this trip, and I think it's going to take time to regulate back to where you were.
And I think I have to kind of sometimes think where we think, this is time has passed, but I think it's maybe having a chat with myself of if it takes longer, it takes longer.
We don't always realise what is draining us, I think, and hopefully by talking you've realised what precisely it was, because at first you were like, I don't understand why
there's
I'm
a lot
tired, but actually that sounds really
draining.
A lot of brain processing going on.
It has helped, Claire. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely helped me get a bit more pinpoint it. And then maybe now that I've pinpointed it, I can let it go, let it go. And just kind of think, right, that is what, because maybe sometimes what's draining us, if we're trying to find out what's draining us, and now that I've found what's draining me, I can go, okay, that's
so,
it. Yeah. And I can sleep better tonight, and tomorrow I'll wake up a little bit more refreshed. And
I think of a little thing. So for me, I would want to put that in a glass ball, and I would want to hold it up high over my head, smash it on the ground. I always got a thing about throwing things, breaking them, just walking off.
Just go. You're living there now.
We don't need that anymore.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Claire. That's really, really helped. I feel better. I feel lighter now. Thank you.
It's been lovely hearing about your holiday.
Well, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.